Binks, what are you doing? Did you get the toothpaste?
Hey, it's Grady at Twin Creek Audio back in the studio today. And today I have another special song that I'm going to mix through the Soundtracs Topaz recording console. This song is Feline Friend from the Completist Songs for Cats album. In 2016 is when that came out. I've done 2 songs now from that album, so this may be the last song I mix from the Songs for Cats album. But Feline Friend is one of my favorite songs. It's also short. It has a different kind of sound than a lot of the other stuff on the album. And most of Songs for Cats, if I haven't mentioned this in other videos, all the drums and most of the guitars and things were tracked through the Soundtracs Topaz preamps. So you're hearing what was recorded on this console being mixed through this console, although on the original album they were probably in the box mixes in Reaper. But we're going to try it with the Topaz today and see what we get. So let me show you the stuff on the console once I label it and the outboard gear that I'm going to be using today, and then we'll mix Feline Friend. So here's what's coming up on the channels on the Topaz. And by the way, if you hadn't seen enough of my other videos to know, the first 8 channels are using the outputs from a Behringer ADA8200 optical interface, and then that's connected to the original Motu 828, and so the second 8 outputs are the Motu. So we've got kick, snare, hi-hat, overhead, which is just a mono overhead, then we have stereo toms, a room mic for drums, bass guitar. We've got 2 acoustic guitar tracks. I have them marked left and right, but they're actually a multi-mic setup, but I just did that to remind myself to pan those out to left and right. Electric guitar. We've got 2 vocal tracks. Nothing on that one. Stereo keys, in this case is an organ sound. And then the reverb return from the Yamaha Rev 500. Our EQ on the Topaz EQs, we've got a little bit of 2.8, 2.9K being added to the kick drum, a little bit around 350 being pulled out, not too much though, and a tiny bit of 80 Hertz boost. Snare drum, we've got a little bit of 80 Hertz boost, boosting a little bit of 7 kilohertz. And that's about it on the drum mics. On the acoustic guitar, we're adding a little bit of 12 kilohertz. And that's all we're doing there. We don't really have any other. Oh, I'm boosting a little bit at, looks like 5K. There is no EQ on the vocals. I do have a little bit of EQ on the reverb returns though. Over here. Just taking out some low mids and some low end out of the reverb. I went with the Wood Room preset on the Rev 500 again for this mix, but the reverb time's a little bit longer at 1 second. Then we're using the Symmetrics 501 on a subgroup number 3, and have mainly vocals and electric guitar being sent to that for some parallel compression. The LA Audio 4x4 is strapped across bus number 1 and 2, connected to the inserts of those 2 buses. And I'm sending drums to those, mainly just kick, snare, and toms. And then bass guitar, as always, in these mixing videos I'm using the DBX 163X compressor on the bass guitar. When I did the original mixes for the Songs for Cats album back in 2016, they were mixed in the box. And it seems like I remember having a lot harder time to get the sound I wanted that way in the box. I had to throw a lot of plugins on everything. And we were going for kind of a vintage sound on that album. Vintage to modern, I guess, or modern vintage, whatever you would call that. But it does sound pretty cool, and it sounds like that. Now with the Topaz, I think we're going to get an even better sound with a lot less work. So let's mix this song and find out what we get.
Well, it rained all day. I slipped in the mud and the bullies, they just pushed me down. But I'm so happy with my feline friend. Well, I failed the test. I tore my shirt and my latest crush just brings me down. But I
remember mixing this album. Originally it was mixed in the box, and I remember it took a lot more plugins and different kinds of processing to get the sound that I want than I feel like I had to use today when mixing through the Topaz with just a couple pieces of outboard gear. So I really don't know what that's about other than analog summing, and the Soundtracs Topaz just sounds good. It adds the right kind of saturation or vibe to the sound without making it sound muddy or harsh. I do in particular remember some cymbals and clashing things in the high end that I had to deal with, and I didn't have that problem when mixing on the Topaz. So I don't know what that says. Maybe that's my mixing skills have improved. But anyway, it's a fun console. It was a fun song from the Completist Songs for Cats album. Go check out that full album. The Completist has a Bandcamp page, thecompletist.bandcamp.com. The Completist is plural. You can also search for the Completist Songs for Cats on iTunes or Amazon or whatever downloading, streaming music service you choose. It's released on most of them, I'm pretty sure. So go check it out. Also check all the links in the description of the videos to help support this channel. And I hope you all have an excellent day, night, evening, weekend, weekday, hour, minute, second, nanosecond, whatever it is you're having. Have a good one. And thanks so much for watching. I'm just out here walking the cat. Come on, Binks. Come back over this way. Ooh, it's rustling. It's making him excited. You gonna get that leaf that's over there?